Hello, nieces and nephews, and welcome back to Uncle Orlok's Vault for Episode 8, The Mothers of Horror. Now, this being the month of May containing Mother's Day, we're going to rank the top 5 mothers in horror, with a few honorable mentions. Now, this isn't just a list of the top 5 evil psycho moms, though some do definitely qualify as that. No, this list also includes brave, ordinary mothers who rise to the occasion like mama bears to protect their children against insurmountable threat, whether being supernatural in nature or very ordinary and earthbound. It just needs to qualify as horror.
Junior! Junior!
Ma! It's Uncle Orlok. I'm doing the Uncle Orlok show.
Morlock! Morlock's been dead for years. I smell smoke.
No, Orlok! Ma, no, it's not a smoke, it's a fog machine. It's a fog machine.
A what?
A fuck, look, I can't talk right now, I'm shooting my YouTube show.
You're shooting who-tube?
Now, YouTube, Ma, please, I can't talk right now.
Okay, just don't burn anything down there. You have fun shooting your who-tube. Hey, would you guys like some cookies?
You want any cookies?
Yeah, I'll take some cookies.
Yeah, we'll have cookies. I don't even know where we are anymore. Just roll the intro.
No more hangers!
What do you give to the lady who has given all her life and love to you? What do you give to the reason you are living?
Mama?
I could window shop the world.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Mama, a rainbow. Mama, a sunrise. Mama, the moon to wear.
Mother! Oh, God! Mother! Blood! Blood!
Not good enough, not for Mama. Mama, a lifetime crowded with laughter. That's not long enough, no, not long enough. What can I give you that I can give you? What will your
Now let's see what you brought, Mother.
Mama, young and beautiful, always young and beautiful, that's the mama I'll always see. That's for mama with love from me.
Mothers are eating their children. Mama's talking loud, Mama's doing fine, Mama's getting hot, Mama's going strong, Mama's moving on.
You're not my mother!
No. Okay, and let's begin the countdown. At number 5, Margaret White, portrayed by actress Piper Laurie in Carrie, 1976. Brian De Palma's frightening adaptation of Stephen King's first novel about female puberty, teenage bullying, and telekinesis wouldn't work so well without Mother White as the catalyst to Carrie's arc. Piper Laurie plays this religious zealot to the hilt, locking Carrie in a closet containing the scariest crucifix known to mankind, hitting Carrie in the face with the Bible, all while pulling her own hair out. There is a nice mother and daughter moment in the film, though, when Piper Laurie applies the subtle application of the thespian art when she describes to Carrie the night of her daughter's conception.
I should have killed myself when he put it in me. Sin never dies. At first, it was all right. We lived sinlessly. We slept in the same bed, but we never did. And then, that night, I saw him looking down at me that way. We got down on our knees to pray for strength. I'll smell the whiskey on his breath. And he took me. He took me. With the stink of the filthy roadhouse whiskey on his breath. And I liked it. I liked it.
There is nothing subtle about Piper Laurie's betrayal. I guess that's what makes it so terrifying and so much fun to watch. De Palma also gave Margaret White a much more gruesome death in the movie. Piper Laurie's betrayal is so iconic we all now remember that infamous line.
He's gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
We're all sorry, Cassie. We're all sorry, Cassie.
Trust me, Carrie. You can trust me. Trust me, Carrie. You can trust me. Trust me, Carrie.
For example,
Trust me.
no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice, at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks.
We're all sorry, Cassie.
Trust me, Carrie.
Number 4. Aliens, The Queen Xenomorph and Ellen Ripley, 1986. Created by Stan Winston Studios, The Queen Xenomorph is an impressive practical creature effect, but she is also a very protective mama as a character. The only non-human on our list, the Xenomorph, shows that the instinct of motherhood is inherent even in monsters from across the galaxy. After all, she is just protecting her eggs when Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley takes a flamethrower to her nest. How else would a mother react? In fact, even though Aliens is thought of as a kick-ass, drag-out sci-fi action movie, which it definitely is, the theme of James Cameron's film is all about motherhood. Earlier in the film, when Ripley is awakened from cryogenic sleep after the Nostromo has been found drifting in space, she finds out that she has been asleep for 57 years. In a deleted scene from the original theatrical cut, we find out her daughter on Earth, Amanda, is now long dead. Grief-stricken, Ripley is convinced to go on a mission to a human colony now on the alien planet, only to find all humans there either dead or cocooned. All except Newt, a little girl who is the lone human survivor on the planet. She tells Ripley and the soldiers that the creatures mostly come out at night. Mostly.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Ripley's maternal instinct kicks in as a protector of Newt. She almost becomes an adoptive mom. This leads us to the ultimate face-off with the alien mother in the nest, and the final combat between two protective mothers, both human and xenomorph.
Get away from her, you bitch!
The only other thing I could say further about this one is, Happy Mother's Day, motherfuckers. At number 3, Cujo, Donna Trenton, portrayed by actress Dee Wallace, 1983. Only a year after playing the oblivious single mom with an alien living in her house in E.T., Dee Wallace returns in an equally maternal, if much more terrifying, mother role. As the second film on our list, based on a Stephen King novel, this film sees Dee Wallace facing off against a much more earthbound, realistic threat. Trapped in a car that won't turn over, with her young son stuck in sweltering summer heat, on a rural farm with no help around, she finds herself and child under attack by a large St. Bernard that has gone rabid.
Get back in that barn, damn you.
W.C. Fields once said, "Never work with children and animals." Well, Dee Wallace didn't take his advice, and as a result, gives a tour de force performance. Simplistic in its premise and tightly directed, Cujo is quite an effective horror film. It plunges the viewer into a nightmare scenario and never lets up. Maybe it's the fact that, unlike some of the other threats on this list that are supernatural in nature, the events of Cujo, given the right circumstances before cell phones, actually could happen. Dee Wallace is in full Mama Bear mode here. And thankfully, the film gives us an uplifting ending after all the grueling events. Stephen King's novel has a much bleaker ending, which really wouldn't have worked as well on film, in my opinion. Perhaps the most heroic on our list is Dee Wallace as the brave yet realistic mama in Cujo. Number 2, the original Friday the 13th, Pamela Voorhees, portrayed by actress Betsy Palmer, 1980. Pamela Voorhees, otherwise known to horror fans as Jason's mom, was revealed at the end of the first film, spoiler alert, to be the actual killer. Jason himself, the hockey mask-wearing slasher kids like to dress up for as Halloween because it's a cheap costume, wouldn't show up in his most recognizable form until Friday the 13th 3D. Mrs. Voorhees, like most of the other moms on our list, was simply being a protective mom of her son. She was understandably getting revenge on those libidinous, distracted teenage camp counselors who were too busy boning each other in sleeping bags instead of keeping an eye on her sweet baby boy Jason while he was drowning in Crystal Lake. Do not mess with a mom from New Jersey. Yes, that actually is where the original Camp Crystal Lake is. You can look it up. This became veteran actress Betsy Palmer's most beloved role, when she wasn't selling dish detergent that could also make your hands smooth and clean.
I'm Betsy Palmer, and I'm going to liberate the dishwashing commercial from the kitchen. Because frankly, it doesn't make any difference which dishwashing liquid you use out here. Any good brand will get your dishes just as clean as Lux. It's in here, where your hands are on display, that Lux makes the difference. It conditions your hands. Lux has an exclusive skin conditioning formula that leaves hands feeling surprisingly soft and smooth. Try Lux. Your dishes don't care what brand you use, but your hands do.
Take that, women's libbers. She was running around the woods, quiet and agile, going completely psycho, and apparently operating the camera in an overbearing way during a family camping trip. Plus, for an older lady wearing a cable knit sweater in the summer, she sure takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Until she ultimately loses her head. Kids of the 80s had no respect. Jason, like a good boy, and Norman Bates before him, would come back from his watery grave to avenge his dear old mom. Now, if this isn't the perfect Mother's Day story, frankly, I don't know what is. And now, before we go to number 1 on our list, we're going to do honorable mentions with Batmail. Who are you?
Oh, hi. I'm Sal, the snaky sock puppet.
Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes? First on our honorable mentions list is Adeline versus her doppelganger, Red, both portrayed by Lupita Nyong'o on Us, 2019 from writer-director Jordan Peele. Two mothers alike against each other in an allegorical class warfare, defending their families. Nyong'o is fantastic in both roles. Next is Wendy Torrance, portrayed by Shelley Duvall in The Shining 1980, another strong Stephen King mother figure, protecting her son from a homicidal father played by Jack Nicholson in Stanley Kubrick's chiller adaptation. This character perhaps has the largest arc in the film. And finally, Diane Freeling, portrayed by JoBeth Williams in Poltergeist, 1982. Directed by Tobe Hooper from a story written by Steven Spielberg, who also produced. Poltergeist blends the scares of the supernatural with a benign suburban family setting for maximum effect. JoBeth Williams goes so far as to enter a vortex of spectral light emanating from her kid's bedroom closet in order to save her daughter, who has become trapped in a paranormal plane of existence inside the family TV set. If you haven't seen it, just watch it. I can't explain it any better. And finally, at number 1 on our Mothers of Horror list is Rosemary Woodhouse, portrayed by actress Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Directed by Roman Polanski, based on the 1967 novel by author Ira Levin, Rosemary's Baby tells the dark tale of a young upper-middle-class woman who moves into the Dakota in Manhattan with her actor husband Guy, played by John Cassavetes, and is manipulated, gaslit, berated, drugged, raped, impregnated, and ultimately forced to give birth unknowingly to the spawn of Satan. Her husband, in order to get ahead in his acting career, sells his soul and his wife's body to a coven of devil worshippers and practitioners of black magic, who all look like they're members of AARP.
No! It can't be! No!
Look at his hands and his feet!
Dealing with themes of the time that are also equally relevant today, where the political debate over women's rights and bodily autonomy is at the forefront, the film's suspense and terror unfolds as Rosemary's individuality and autonomy is slowly stripped away by oppressive and misogynistic forces around her, whether it comes from members of the occult, her husband, her doctor, or her Catholic guilt and upbringing. The film deals with themes of second-wave feminism, religion, urban isolation, sexism, individuality, capitalism, and above all, motherhood. In fact, underlying the religious themes beneath the story and character, Rosemary is first depicted as innocent and submissive, and gradually is broken down throughout the story as she is prepared to be the mother of the Antichrist. Even her name is a reflection of the Holy Mother Mary, and is seen depicted in costume design colors of blue and white during her pregnancy, these colors representing purity and loyalty. Rosemary makes the list at number 1 for the film's exploration of the psychological fears around pregnancy, and for the fact that at the end, spoiler alert, despite the revelation of who the father of her baby actually is, Rosemary embraces her role as mother. That right there is truly a mother's love. Rosemary Woodhouse, happy Mother's Day. Next time on Uncle Orlok's Vault, we're going to change things up a bit as we're going to be doing the summer of sci-fi for the next few months. So join us then. Coochie coo. So what have you been in?
Oh, a few things. Did you ever see snakes on a plane?
You were in that?
No, but my cousin Tom was.